I don't know. Is he gonna slip off of this one? Oh, he's just planted right there. I'm gonna rig up a snatch block. We'll be right back after that's done.
Bronco out for redemption from last time.
All right, thanks, Jesse. All right, we've got white Bronco out here again. That's Jesse. He fixed the things that we broke last time he was out here and added to his safety and recovery war chest. Hopefully we'll have him tell us all about that after he's done wheeling out here. See if he makes it through all the obstacles that he wants to this time. Rut just keeps, getting bigger and bigger. So the problem is that as you approach the tire with your rear, the obstacles with your rear tires, your passenger rear is sinking into that rut, and that's causing you to hit the drive shaft and the pumpkin right up against the obstacle tire, and you're not going to go anywhere further. So I would think that we need to reset. Your back end needs to be further over this way so that that tire doesn't go in that rut. How you accomplish that, I don't know. That's why I'm not a spotter. I just spot things. Guys, I'm sorry if that analysis was not helpful. Try it again. Back with a new approach. Gonna give us the beams. Or not. No, we're all up. And the components are clear. Alright, we're up. I think he's gonna have much trouble this time. There we go. Up and over! Oh no! Now it just needs to come out of it. I would say nothing to it, but there was a lot to that one. Use the old Bronco to extract the new Bronco.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Is he gonna slip off of this one? His wheel right here is right on the edge of the obstacle. passenger is going to come towards me. Hopefully hold that rear passenger tire on the obstacle. If he slams down, that could be a recipe for damage. Yeah, so that's what we're afraid of. Your CV is planted. Pumpkin is planted on top of, I'm going to zoom in.
So the good thing is that it's on the axle housing and not on the drive shaft.
Right, because if he was on the drive shaft, then that's a recipe for lots of damage.
Well, it's a lot weaker component than the housing itself, which is going to strike things.
Right, but that he came down so hard on it that we think it might be at risk.
I'm not worried about it. The Bronco has pretty robust rear end.
Got a winch vehicle getting set up. Yeah, here we go. That's what we were talking about. He's just planted right there. Not only is he sitting on top of it, but the edge of the metal on this housing is in the groove between these tractor tire grooves. So, looks like we're setting up for a winch job here. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure if that's the best path to try and take this thing.
It should slide.
Think it'll slide?
I've got it front locked, so that should help along with the winch. I should get over enough.
Okay. Jesse's confident.
I've never been here before, so I'm sure.
At that point, we'll start back to the previous clip of him being here before.
Yes, Jesse has actually been here before and in this situation before, as a matter of fact. Slightly different situation last time. He had a broken component last time, if you'll recall, on that video. All right, so he's going to winch himself up off of here. I'm going to stand back a bit. Whoa, heard an odd pop. All right, so we're going to rig up a snatch block. We'll be right back after that's done. So Wyatt here is hooking up the snatch block. Yeah, and at the same time we get to test other components, like the bumper. It looks like, so we're going to back up. All right, now we're rigged up. Let's try it again. All right, I feel that's an incredible amount of tension on that rope, so I'm backing up. I'm going to zoom in here a bit. There we go. That's some movement. All right. There we go. Okay. Made it. And then here's Sean, come to show the Bronco up, apparently. Concentration in his eyes. Wow. Seasoned veteran.
Too easy. Nothing to it.
Seasoned. Got the blown out windshield and everything. Hey folks, we're back out here at the W2W Proving Grounds. It's been a cold day. We've had some flurries. The coldest one so far out here. We've got Jesse back with his 1993 OJ Mobile, the Ford Bronco, white, of course, if you'll remember. Last time he was here, he broke a thing. He has since refixed that thing. Can you tell us a little bit about what we broke originally, why it broke, and how you fixed it this time?
So what broke would be my welds. I had welded a torque tamer onto my rear axle. The reason being is because I have Deaver springs, which are quite soft, allowing more flex and a better quality ride, but with that flex, it allows a lot of axle wrap. So the torque tamer prevents the axle wrap, and it requires a little bit of self-welding. right up here where the bracket mounts onto the axle itself. And I figured, you know, 2 passes was good enough on the first weld. Well, that broke off pretty quickly out here. A lot tougher than you expected it to be when you come here. And so now I've re-welded, and she's held up real good.
And have you noticed that, so last time you broke it on the first obstacle you attempted, which was Mount Flexmore, but we didn't realize it for a while throughout that day. Did you notice a difference on the other obstacles today with it actually being welded properly?
So yeah, I felt like something was loose and wrong in my rear end last time, but when you're off-roading, everything feels like it's breaking. So you hear these creaks and pops and cracks and snaps, and you just got to kind of take that as it is.
Whoa, heard an odd pop.
But today everything felt really nice and tight and performed perfectly.
Solid, okay.
Yeah.
And then you were explaining to me you've made a few additional upgrades since the last time you were here because of the last time you were here.
So last time I was here, there were several obstacles that I couldn't get over that I felt like I should be able to very easily. Right after that trip, I decided to go ahead and install and purchase the front locker. So I went with a lunchbox style locker up front, and I installed that myself. In addition to that, the winch kind of left me stranded as well last trip, so I went ahead and pulled the line all the way out, retensioned it properly the way it should be, and that as well performed flawlessly today. So everything that I had issues with in the first trip, I did not have issues with today.
And that is kind of the point of the proving grounds.
Right.
Any other upgrades you've made since you've been here?
I don't think anything else has been done. The front locker, the winch and the bumper were here last time, but the front locker is the main ticket, and that's something obviously you can't see, but that is in the front differential.
Mm-hmm. And you noticed a stark contrast.
Huge difference. You never think that something so simple as a lunchbox locker can create an off-road machine, but it really does.
And in what ways can you tell the difference?
So instead of having one wheel spinning up front, you actually have both wheels that are spinning. So if you lose traction on one side of the vehicle, now the other tire is going to make up that traction and grab when it can.
Right.
So that really made a huge difference instead of just spinning one
to crawl
wheel.
up an obstacle rather than have to really goose it to compensate for that lack of traction.
It's still fun to goose it, but
well, it looks like you have fun goosing it, and we love watching it. So any other obstacles out here, any differences from the last time? Because, you know, this is kind of a dynamic environment. Ruts get deeper,
honestly,
some ruts get shallower.
Speaking of that, it made Mount Flexmore harder because that rut is now deeper. Also, in front of the Big Mama and Big Daddy, there's a lot of mud pits in there too, so you lose traction pretty easily when it's nice and slippery like that.
And I seem to recall it was a bit drier out here the last time.
It was very dry last time.
Very dry. So as we've gone through the course of the winter, you know, just the turf doesn't have an opportunity to dry as quickly.
Speaking of, in the background.
In the background, looks like we have somebody caught up. So, well, we appreciate you coming out here again, and we look forward to seeing you again. Folks at home, we are at W2W Proving Grounds on Facebook, W2WParks.com, and W2W on YouTube. You can check us out with regularly updated content. Jesse, thanks again. It's been rich.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Okay.